What's going on, everybody? John Eric Poli here with My MMA News, and I'm at the grand opening for American Top Team Happy Valley here by Penn State in Pennsylvania. The guy next to me was a great wrestler at Penn State, three-time national champion, Bo Nickal, who has a lot to do with this gym. Bo, thanks for joining us here today. And let's start with this grand opening here. Just how excited are you that this building's finally built, and here we are celebrating this opening in the gym?
Yeah, so pumped. You know, it's been a long process. It was pushed back quite a bit with COVID and whatnot, but you know, finally able to get the building done and open it up to the public. Got so many people here that are just members of the community coming out to support, so love that. And you know, I'm excited to provide them an awesome opportunity to train here with great coaches, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And I know you're doing a lot of the wrestling coaching here, of course. Well, to the left of us here is the actual gym. Behind us then is where Dave Taylor has his wrestling facility. So I know Penn State, hotbed for wrestling. Just how important is it to get all these great wrestlers to be coming here and then transitioning over to mixed martial arts like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so exciting. You see a lot of wrestlers just have a ton of success in MMA, and we have a ton of young guys that are incredible athletes, incredible wrestlers, and they're looking to transition. So, you know, there's really no better place than to just stay right here where we are with our, you know, strong wrestling base, and then, you know, obviously American Top Team coming in, bringing in some amazing coaches for us to learn jiu-jitsu and learn Muay Thai with Marcel Ferreira and Ton, our Muay Thai coach. So very excited for the future.
And now let's talk about you here a little bit. Of course, we know your wrestling background. I know you're in the process of transitioning to MMA. What's exactly next for you? Do you try again for another Olympic Games in 4 years, or are you fully committed to the sport of mixed martial arts now?
Yeah, my plan right now is to get a couple amateur fights by the end of the year, and then turn pro early next year. So I would like to get a few, like I said, amateur fights, get some experience, and then we'll see. I don't even have an idea of what organization I would like to sign with or anything like that, but definitely the plan is to go all in on MMA.
I understand. Now, so when you do this, right, and we have this great facility here that's just built, I imagine like you're going to do most of your work here, but I know you have a base down in South Florida too. We saw you down there working with Jorge Masvidal and company. Are you going to do the majority of your bulk training when it comes time for fight camp down there in South Florida, or is everything going to be based out of right here in Happy Valley?
Yeah, so this will be home base, and this will be where I do my fight camps, but I will be down in Coconut Creek, South Florida a lot. I was actually just down there maybe like 10 days ago. I did a full week of training. I got to work with some awesome guys, got to work with Mike Brown, do a lot of one-on-one lessons, and got a lot of good coaching down there. So yeah, and not to mention it's not that great of weather around here, you know, December, January, so I might, you know, find myself down there just to enjoy the beach and whatnot.
Well, we definitely got the humidity today, because summers in Pennsylvania could be rough, as you know from being born and raised here as well. Let's talk though about this transition too, because we know your wrestling background, and wrestling is such a huge important thing of MMA, and all the great wrestlers always seem to have a lot of success in it, but there's the whole stand-up department. That's going to be fairly new to you, obviously. Yeah. What's that been like, starting to learn that part of your game?
It's been awesome. I really enjoy just like learning new things, right? You know, and I've been wrestling for 20 years, and I definitely don't know everything about wrestling. There's a lot more to me to learn wrestling-wise, but it's just exciting to start over and learn new disciplines and things like that. And you know, I think to myself, man, like, I wish that I would have been more interested in Muay Thai and boxing and jiu-jitsu at a younger age, and maybe got in a little training then, because I just love it so much, and it's so fun to learn the little intricacies and the details and the techniques and stuff like that. And it's super exciting to, you know, have great coaches that are teaching me and putting a lot of time and effort into me, and helping me figure that out. So yeah, looking forward to continuing to train all the disciplines and just dive into those.
Now, one of your former teammates at Penn State was Cody Law. Cody's a friend of mine. I've been interviewing Cody since the beginning of his MMA career here, it seems like. He was in the same boat as you, a wrestler that kind of transitioned over. He's picking it up very quick. So when you look at him, like, are you ever inspired at all? Like, if I see Cody doing that, I know I could follow in that type of a footstep as well. And has he given you any advice that he started this a little earlier than you have?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. Giving me a lot of advice. Just talking with Cody, I talk with him probably at least, you know, once or twice a week, and that's probably who I'll be staying with, and I'm visiting in South Florida, and he's going to be coming up here and training too. So yeah, he's given me a lot of great advice. He's 4-0 in Bellator, you know, kicking butt, doing really well, and so I'm just looking to have guys like that have experience and that were wrestlers, maybe from like a similar background as me, that are coming up, you know, definitely trying to pick their brains. And Cody's a guy that's given me a lot of good advice, and I love picking his brain and just kind of getting a grasp of his experiences and stuff. It's helped me a lot.
And I'm sure another guy that has given you experience has been Jorge Masvidal. I know you guys did some work ahead of his Kamaru Usman fight. I know you were brought in primarily to help him in the wrestling department there, but I'm sure knowing him, being the veteran that he is, he seems to be a great teammate, that he definitely was pulling you aside and helping you out with different things. What did you learn from him?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's so interesting. I feel like there's a certain speed that I have when I wrestle, right? Like I can move certain ways and do it quickly, and there's a lot of technique that, it's almost second nature to me at this point. And when I was standing with him, that's what it felt like for him. I'm like, wow, this dude is moving like so quickly and so fast, and just to like kind of just learn a few techniques from him, like some of his Muay Thai stuff, some of his striking stuff, some of his blitzes, things like that was like so awesome for me, just to know how an elite of a striker he is, to be able to learn that. And then just, in addition to that, talking mindset and, just his experience. I mean, he's got so many pro fights and he's been in the game for so long. He has a ton of knowledge. So yeah, definitely looking forward to training with him more and learn from him more.
So of course, the big theme of this conversation so far has been American Top Team, of course, and that's where this is after, American Top Team, Happy Valley. Bo, given your success in the sport of wrestling, we know that any single, whether it be a wrestling gym, an MMA gym, anyone would welcome you with open arms. Why American Top Team? Why did you choose to get involved with them?
I really feel like, after meeting Dan Lambert with American Top Team and his whole crew, that a lot of their values and beliefs and the way that they approach the sport of MMA is super similar to the way that we approach the sport of wrestling at Penn State. And I just identified with a lot of their values and how they like to approach training and approach, just the whole sport in general. And I feel like Dan and I clicked right away, and we had a shared vision of what this gym could be, and we aligned on a lot of those things. So, in addition to the fact that there's so many great training partners at American Top Team, there's so many resources. In my opinion, they're the best gym in the country, bar none. And yeah, all those resources combined with just how good of people there are at ATT, it made it a no-brainer for me.
All right, but one last thing now today. A lot of superstars here today, right? I interviewed Mike Brown earlier. Cael Snyder was here. Yourself, of course. The guy with the longest line that I haven't even made it over to shake hands with yet, and I plan on doing it before I leave here today, is your former wrestling coach, Cael Sanderson. Just talk about him and how beneficial he's been to have him in your life, and all the things that he's taught you along the way, and just what it means just today to have him here in a mixed martial arts setting like this and being a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. It's so cool to have his support in this, and I think that, the thing about Coach Cael that makes him such a great guy is he's so supportive of all his athletes, regardless of what they want to do. And I'm sure he's a little sad that I'm going to be transitioning to MMA, but nonetheless, he's super supportive and super excited for me. And, that's a guy that I can count on and depend on no matter what. And, I'm just incredibly excited that I can have the opportunity to stay here in the area, and I can stay with my base of wrestling coaches and my family and stuff like that, and I don't have to move all the way across the country. So yeah, just very grateful for all the people that put so much time into this and all the people that made this happen. So yeah, looking forward to the future.
Now, is he going to be mad at you when you go over to the wrestling gym? You're trying to recruit all the guys to come over here and start transitioning early while they're still in their college wrestling careers?
No, we'll see. I mean, I feel like we have a lot of guys that are very motivated to fight and stuff, and so I'm not really doing much recruiting as far as that's concerned. Obviously, would love for guys to fight, but I feel like that's something you really got to want in your heart as an individual. And so, luckily we have a lot of guys that have that in them, and we'll see. I mean, I know that we're going to be working very closely with Penn State Wrestling. A lot of guys that, and this just provides a great environment for guys at Penn State that if they do want to transition over, it's an easy transition, and yeah, definitely. I hope Coach Cael is not too mad at me, but we'll see.
All right, Bo. Thanks for the time here today. We appreciate it. Great facility. Congratulations with everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it.